WGOP. What's going on, Pittsburgh? In this video is a press conference with the mayor to provide updates on storm restoration efforts, as well as announcing new legislation on preventing price gouging during local emergencies.
We are on day 6 of our recovery, following the unprecedented weather incident we experienced last Tuesday. I'm happy to have some positive reports this morning that I want to make sure the public is aware of. Every Pittsburgh public school is open. Every one of them is open. Every emergency facility has power. Inaccessible road segments were reduced from 120 at the start, and as of today, we are down to 17. Traffic signal outages have been reduced from 70 when we started to now we have 3. Most significantly, of all, I am hopeful that we are very close to restoring power for every city resident. As of 4:15 this afternoon, we have just over 11,500 outages remaining from the 140,000 in the city in the immediate wake of the storm. For many of you, I know it's been long, I know it's been frustrating and expensive and frightening. I want to take a moment again to thank the people of Pittsburgh for the kindness, the patience, resilience that we have shown during this storm to one another. But even when our power has been fully restored, our recovery will not be complete. We will have to engage in repairs of our facilities and cleanups on our roadways and parks. We also have new resources to assist residents in cleaning up downed trees and other damages on their property. Team Rubicon, a humanitarian aid organization that supports communities' recovery from natural disaster, is on the ground here in Pittsburgh and is now available to support property owners in their cleanup efforts. Residents can call 211 to request an assessment, and Team Rubicon representatives will visit their properties to determine if they have and can assist. Unless we act collectively as a community, hunger will intensify. The Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank is preparing for a 25% surge in demand as families seek to restock lost food and recover from the storm's financial toll. We have been successful in persuading the state to extend deadlines to SNAP reimbursements to May 30th. Let me read that again. We have been successful in persuading the state to extend the deadline for SNAP reimbursements to May 30th. City and county staffs are working hard to help SNAP recipients to get this benefit, and people can call 311 to learn more about their claim. Last week, County Exec Sarah Anna Morado and I announced a joint effort to raise $1 million to help the food bank meet this increased demand. We've heard from the public that they would like to contribute to their neighbors. And here's how you can do it. Working with the food bank, they have created a page specifically for donations for neighbors. I think it is also important to reflect on just how intense this storm was and where we go from here. It is remarkable that such a short storm left 10,000 of our residents without power, and sometimes without food and oxygen, for the better part of a week. And while we experienced it as something unprecedented for our region, we know that climate change will only intensify extreme weather events, and frequently with which they happen in Western Pennsylvania. I want to let the public know that we are committed to doing whatever we have to do to invest in being resilient and creating sustainability. That's why the comprehensive plan is all. That's what the comprehensive plan is all about, and why it is so important. What we've been through over the past week underscores the reality all too well, and I want to encourage everybody in this city to take part in the comprehensive plan. Finally, I'm very sorry to report that we begin to hear concerns from residents over the weekend about a potential price gouging, as they have been in contact with contractors or service providers to repair damages from the storm. I want to make sure that y'all hear that. Let me be clear, if these reports are confirmed, this is unacceptable. However, investigation and enforcement for these actions are done at the state level, not the local level. There exists a state law that leaves our residents without any means to seek justice in these cases. But we don't make excuses. You know us, we find solutions. It is why I immediately got to work with County Exec Sarah Anna Murata, State Senator Lindsey Williams, and Representative Abney to draft an amendment to the Pennsylvania Price Gouging Act to ensure the protection while applying to locally declared disaster emergencies, not just the ones the governor declared. None of our residents should be forced to pay jacked up prices that force them to choose between keeping their lights on, feeding their families, or making the repairs they need for recovery. Our proposed amendment is straightforward. Compels the Attorney General to investigate residents' reports of suspected price gouging during emergency situations, leave us civil penalties up to $10,000 for each violation. It also allows the Attorney General to seek relief, restitution, and recovery costs. These are the same protections and penalties that currently apply to this practice when the governor has declared an emergency disaster. Our constituents who face hardship in the wake of these emergencies don't care who declared the emergency. They need help, especially our most vulnerable population. This is a common sense solution, and I was pleased to see every member of the Gainey'S State House delegation sign on as co-sponsors to this bill. I look forward to working with our leaders in Harrisburg to move this bill quickly, because emergency response shouldn't be a bipartisan priority. Should be a bipartisan reality.